So I'm going to invite Burton Rich to come forward. He's going to talk a little bit about his experience of the practice, tithe. Wherever you'd like.
I could probably be heard from there, but I'll stand here instead. And I should warn you that I've had about 6 weeks to prepare this. But I have only one page, and I'll stick to the script for the most part. When Claire and I were much younger, and she'll hopefully forgive me for telling this story again, but I haven't told it to you before, so it's new to you. I had a memorable conversation with my father-in-law, her father. And the conversation tended towards stewardship. I don't remember whether I was seeking advice or he was giving it. Either of those could have been the case. We might just have been having a conversation, but I do remember clearly some of the words that he said that day to me, and they went something like this. Giving money to the church is something that I've never looked at as an expense. I've always considered it to be an investment, and I've never worried about the return. And I took those words and I thought about them, and when I think about them even today, I think that what he meant by never being worried about the return was that he wasn't saying that he didn't care that there was no return, but he was never disappointed with the returns that he had seen from the gifts that he had made. Our gifts to the church, our collective gifts to the church, are an investment in an activity that, if we believe in the church's mission, will transform the world. I've carried Tiny's words with me for years and have been reminded of them every time I've been asked to make a commitment to a stewardship campaign or a capital campaign or any other kind of appeal that comes from the church. Tiny's attitude and generosity have been good examples and inspirations for Claire and me, and we've tried to emulate those in our giving disciplines. But what are the returns really? As I was waiting to talk with Joe about this and a number of other topics a few weeks ago, I was idly thumbing through the last church directory that we had, which was probably made when Ethan might still have been in diapers, which may be a bit of a prompt. But in that directory, I saw some pictures like the ones you see here, and I'm looking specifically at the one in the upper left-hand corner of this montage where we see young Brielle Hone in a spider costume, and there it is, at the UNICEF Halloween Carnival. And I was struck that this is the same Brielle Hone who stood before us a year ago or some months ago and asked us to invest in her mission to go to the Philippines and do mission work there. We made that investment and we've seen returns from that. I see pictures also of other children who have grown into young people who take a portion of their summer and go far away to help people that they don't know. I see people who have moved away. I see people who have completed their turns here on earth and have met their rewards in our Father's house. Each of these people have been impacted by the investments that we make, the gifts that we give to this church, and the good work that this church does. But they all represent a positive return on the investments that we make. If you haven't read Joe's message from the messenger this month, I encourage you to do that. There you'll be reminded that all we have is given to us by God. And my question to you is, do we believe that? If we believe that, are we as generous as we can be with those gifts that God has given us? I encourage each of you to look critically this week and prayerfully as well as you consider the commitment that you'll make to the church for the coming year, and where you can and where you're moved to increase your investment to the work that this church is doing. With that increase, we can do even more than we do today. And I'll go off script for only a second when I say that consistent with Joe's sentiments about taxes and tithing, I've made a conscious commitment myself to go away from the terminology of paying a tithe to giving a tithe. And I've tried to incorporate that discipline in recent years, and it's made a big difference in how I look at the giving that I do for the church. Thank you for your time. God bless each of you.